Welcome back to episode 12 of our beta series on FM23 with Newcastle, where today we're going to be facing Wolves and Liverpool in the Premier League. Since you were last with me, we've not had a great run. We obviously saw the match against Crystal Palace, which we drew. We did go on then to beat Southampton in the league, but then we went on to that run of harder games, losing against Spurs, Chelsea and Arsenal. We then beat Middlesbrough and drew against Manchester United, which means essentially we dropped 9, 10, 11 points across the course of 5 games. It's not ideal. It does mean if we have a look at the competition down, we're all the way back down in 9th on 49 points. Now chasing to try and keep up with Southampton. Also means we need to leapfrog Wolves and Spurs, which is why we're watching this match, because we are playing Wolves today. And hopefully we can win, start getting back towards those continental football places. This is the team we're going to be using for that match. It's Trubbin in goal, Mendy, Silva, Timber and Trippier as our back four today. Guimaraes and Rodriguez in midfield. Behind Lamar, Palmer, Hudson-Odoi and Callum Wilson. I say that, it doesn't look like we're actually all the way to the match yet. Now we are though. If you do enjoy today's episode, please do drop a like down below and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already enjoyed the channel. It really does help out and it's always really very much appreciated. And see, of course, that they're maybe not completely our first choice team. For example, no Alexander Isak, but he's not injured at the moment, but he's come back. We've had about a 10, maybe 14-day gap in between matches, and he's come back and for some reason isn't fit. I think they've been away on international duty, but I'm not entirely sure. So it could have been that. Hudson-Odoi obviously returning from injury as well. Passing the ball there to Wilson, Guimaraes now. There's been a lot of this team that if you haven't seen them for a while, it's probably because they've been injured. Hudson-Odoi was one of those that's been on and off injured for a while. I had forgotten this about Hudson-Odoi. I probably should have picked it up on the fact that it was on his scouting report and I chose to ignore it. Oh, for God's sake. I chose to ignore the fact that he's very injury prone. What is wrong with us? I don't understand why we concede so many goals. We haven't got a bad back four. I mean, that kind of doesn't help when they do make a tackle, and then that's just annoying. But we just concede so many goals. Hey ho, look, we got to go and try and get something out of this game now. Mendes is going to try and start us off there with a throw in. Palmer looping cross into the box for Wilson to try and get to, but realistically was probably never getting to that one. And now Wolves going to try and play out from the back. Hudson-Odoi has managed to intercept that one, but his first touch interception there letting us down a little bit, and it's straight back with Wolves, who are now going to plough forward and try and score another goal. Pedro Neto here, really good player on FM23, very good this sort of thing. And Wolves straight in the back of the net, just straight in the back of the net. And 13 minutes in, we're absolutely collapsing, falling apart. There's no reason for us to be falling apart. We have the players, we have a tactic we do know actually most of the time works, and then you get matches like this where we can't even get a shot off, and it's just a bit infuriating because why is it like it? Why sometimes are we really good, and why other times do we play Wolves? And I mean, there's not that much of a differential between the two teams. Realistically, at the start of this match, there's a 1 point difference in terms of how good we are. And yet, Wolves come here and absolutely tear us apart. It's basically anyone in the top half of the table, we're probably not getting a win against. And obviously, you can't do that and go and get European football or challenge for a title or do about anything really if you can't beat any of the teams in the top half of the table. And I mean, it doesn't help we've got Trubbin, because honestly, although he will turn in, I think, to a good goalkeeper, at the moment Livakovic is far superior. Ignore the star ratings, ignore all of that stuff. He is a far superior player just because he'll actually stop shots, and I think that is genuinely, that's the difference. His shot stopping is a lot better, so that kind of works for him. Lamar's only on 6.2, he's coming off. Mraz is coming on. We're just making changes here to try and do just something. Just something, guys. Because we can't do this all match. This is ridiculous. I mean, Milenkovic come on for Trippier? Maybe, but you'd think Trippier would be a bit more attacking. We're going to change these wing-backs onto attack as well. We are fully now trying to go attacking. He can be a complete wing-back on attack as well. How good's your crossing and stuff? Not great. So I'm going to leave Trippier on Nianzou. And let's put Fernandes in there. And let's just demand more from the team. We've got attacking. We've changed the wing-backs to be more attacking. Can we get something out of this match? Instead, it's once again, it's a Wolves highlight where they've just hit the crossbar and come very, very close to scoring. Timber here, big ball forward, no one on the end of it. Wolves just there to pick it up. Palmer does regain possession for us though, and big ball now in front of Hudson-Odoi, now over on the left hand side into St Maximin, who we've just brought on to go up front instead of Wilson, but his shot straight at the goalkeeper. Maybe that's the problem. We can do that in this case. Let's bring Broja on. And I don't know what else. This is the problem. There's not really a lot else we can do. We're going to bring on Nianzou just for Guimaraes because he's quite good at the end of the game, hitting those passes up high and defending our back line. But once again, it doesn't look like we're getting anything out of it. And if we lose this match, which we are now, that is any thoughts of European football over now. I can't see that we go and get any sort of continental competition here after this match, because that means we need Wolves, Southampton and Spurs to all drop points and win every match ourselves. And we're going into matches against Liverpool and Man City in the next 2 games. So we're probably not going to get anything out of those two. And it's very, very annoying. We've just looked absolutely awful here today, really. I mean, look at the match stats. 3 shots. 3 shots, and there we go. Fabio Silva almost adding a 4th there for Wolves. We just crashed and burned. Just utterly crashed and burned at the end of this season. That's got to be a morale thing as well, surely, after losing and getting pummeled by the big teams from the big 6, because, you know, our fixture list hasn't been kind to us in terms of putting all those teams stacked against each other. You know, having a run of Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal and then Man United, Liverpool and Man City in the space of sort of 8 games is a little bit harsh. But equally, we're going to play them sometime in the season. It'd be nice if they're a bit more spread apart, but we're going to have to play them some point in the season. And yeah, I'm sure if we go now, look, yeah, we're back down to insecure, disappointed on this, failed all of this. The supporters are unhappy as well. I mean, it's just not very good, is it? But now we've got to try and put that match behind us as we go and face Liverpool, who are very, very good in FM23. Don't know if you've ever noticed. We have got Livakovic in goal, Mendy, Silva, Timber and Milenkovic as our back 4. We have dropped our 2 wing backs to full backs just to be a little bit more defensive. We've then got Fernandes and Rodriguez, Zalewski, Palmer, Mahrez and Isaac up front. Alexander Isaac is lacking in match fitness. Well, let's be honest, we're playing Liverpool. He's probably not going to see too much of the ball anyway if previous meetings are anything to go by. And I believe as well we did drop down to a balanced mentality. I haven't gone to the tactic we can use with the really deep defensive midfielders, because the last couple of times I've used it, it just seemed to me that gave the opposition so much time on the ball that you ended up just inviting them on and you never got anything out of the match. So this one, we're just starting on a balance. This is pretty much what we did against United and we managed to get that draw. We haven't got rid of the ball there quick enough though, and Diogo Jota has just nicked it off us in the box, and luckily that one's gone wide. We basically, what we're coming here today to do is to try and be as solid as we can at the back. We expect to concede shots, but if we can make them, you know, put players onto their weaker foot, make them maybe a little bit out wider than they'd normally be, or from further away or whatever. Although we have just conceded a header from the edge of the area, which is frustrating. The idea was to be as solid at the back and then hopefully just go and nick one the other end off a set piece or the like. Instead, we've played header tennis there. Kanate has managed to score one from miles away, with his head. Livakovic hasn't got to it on his return to the side. And once again, we find ourselves with lots of possession in one of these matches, but not a lot to show for it. We just encourage the team. We have got a free kick in the opposition half here. We are going to be obviously playing it quite slowly, although ball into Palmer here, and Palmer has put one in the back of the net, drawing us back level with Liverpool. This is what we want to be doing against Liverpool. It's basically when we do get that chance and we do get that set piece, just ping it in the box. Palmer, for example, there, just, I mean, we didn't give them a chance to react. Just put it over the top to Palmer. He's going to slot that one away. If we hadn't just conceded that really bizarre header, obviously there, 1-0 up, beautiful stuff. Zalewski here. Playing today because he loves those big games, so we're choosing to play him and see if he does any better. Fernandez now to Palmer, through to Mahrez into the box. Can we cross it? Holds it up, can't cross it yet, trying to cross it, instead goes for the shot, hits the post himself, and it goes out. I believe it ended up going out of play there, but I'm not actually sure. Mankovic on a yellow card would just tell him to ease off those tackles for a minute, and if we just have a bit more of that in the second half, I would be okay with that. Lots of control over possession, which is nice. So we have conceded a corner here, though, and we know we don't like set pieces, mainly because of stupid shenanigans like that. That looks like it's going to VAR because our defenders are appealing for offside. But that would be very, very hard to tell. I mean, that is the one time I would go to a video assistant referee, because what happened there? Harvey Elliott, it gets headed away. Mohamed Salah has a shot, and it's one of our guys that deflects it. Wrong foot's Livakovic. Goal goes down as Salah's, but it is a big deflection that it took there that resulted in that goal. We're just going to encourage the team a bit more, and we go up to a positive mentality here. And we can float costs if you really want us to, guys. And hopefully, if we could go and get another one, I'd take a point out of this. Obviously, it's not going to do a lot in the grand scheme of things, but I think at least getting a draw might be a little bit better for the overall morale of the squad, and going and get matches in the future than it is obviously getting thumped like we have been doing. Mahrez through on goal here. Once again, shoots it, has it saved, and now it goes back out. I thought we were going to get another bit of highlight, but it turns out we're not. We do need to make a couple of changes down here. Cole Palmer, although he is the best player on the pitch at the moment, is looking quite tired, so we need to take him off. Probably Thomas Lamar come on there, I would think, at the moment. The rest of the team don't actually look too bad, but Isaac is going to come off. We'll bring on Callum Wilson there. Timber is only on a 6.3. That's not great, but I don't really want to bring on Gustavo Gomez either, because he is absolutely rubbish in big games. He just does not perform in them at all, really. And Milankovic has got a yellow card, so maybe Trippier comes on. And then we've got another couple of substitutes to make, but realistically, they're not going to make a huge amount of difference now, the other two substitutes. Maybe the ones we've just brought on might. We're going to have to go attacking. We're going to go very attacking. We're going to try and go very attacking. We're going to go very attacking. We're going to make those last couple of changes as well. So who do we bring on? So Maximin to come on for Zalewski. And probably, I'd say, Mendy's looking tired, so Pedazra can come on. We just go very attacking and hope to go nick a goal now in the last few minutes. Fire up the team. We are, no, into full time. So nothing at all coming out of the matches today, apart from a couple of pretty disappointing performances that leave us down in the mid-table again. And realistically, that's probably sort of season over for us now. The next game, as I mentioned, Manchester City, and from there isn't a lot of games left to play. There's Bournemouth, Leicester, Everton, West Ham and Aston Villa. I think what I do is I will just play through the rest of the season, because I'm keen also to play for a third season on a beta. I did want that to be with European football. It doesn't look like that's going to happen, so I'll play through the rest of the season. If for any reason we look like we have a chance of getting in one of these European spots, then I'll come back before the end of the season and play those matches. But right now, it's looking pretty unlikely. If you have enjoyed today's episode and you want to support the channel, though, please do drop a like down below and subscribe to the channel. It's really helpful, as I mentioned earlier. And if you haven't before, say hi in the comments as well. It'd be lovely to talk to some of you. Till next time, though, guys, thank you very much for watching. I will see you on tomorrow's episode. Bye-bye.